Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's NPSL contest here in beautiful North Olmsted, Ohio at Drive Morris Stadium on the campus of North Olmsted High School. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the visitors from Erie, Pennsylvania, the Erie Commodores FC. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the visitors. The Erie Commodores FC starting 11, starting with number 1, Tyler Card. Number 2, Dylan Greggs. Number 3, Daniel Prieto Diaz. Number 4, Luis Trapp. Number 8, Charles Peterson. Number 13, Ryan Mervisic. Number 14, Ethan Zarka. Number 16, Dewan Barkley. Number 23, Santiago Etch Every. Number 24, Harrison Watts. And number 29, James Lee Yaw. The Erie Commodores FC are coached by Rich Wall. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get out of your seat and on your feet. And let's welcome your Cleveland SC. Introducing your Cleveland SC starting 11, proudly presented by Iggy's Bar. In goal, number 0, Ryan Poling. Number 3, Yuleto Tito Huates. Number 4, Alexandru Romlitsky. Number 11, Stanislav Koval. Number 16, Chris Savecco. Number 17, Sean Wilson. Number 18, Jordan Lewis. Number 19, Ryan Sommerfeld. Number 21, Julian Pellegrini. Your captain, number 22, Daniel Tregensen. And number 23, Aiden Bozak. Cleveland SC head coach is Joe Jovanovski and assisted by Reed Ayers. Ladies and gentlemen, singing tonight's national anthem is the Star Spangled Banner is from Brunswick, Ohio, Jonathan Young.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's hear it again for
Drive Morris Stadium, North Olmsted High School, North Olmsted, Ohio. NPSL Soccer. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is match day number 8 for your Cleveland SC, and they are back here to rematch a game that was supposed to be just 3 weeks ago to the date, looking to redeem themselves after a tough loss for the Battle of I-77. Welcome to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Gianluca Di Giacomo joined alongside Nick Prokop. Nick, great to be here, my friend. Finally getting on call with you after that, 2-3 hour stint over just 3 weeks ago.
And hey, we have a game. We have a game today, thank God, because it was raining pretty heavy earlier. So we were thinking it was going to be another rain delay after waiting 3 weeks ago. So it's fun to be here. Let's have a good game.
Absolutely, yeah. Cleveland SC coming in after a pretty rough stint. There are 3 losses coming in the last 4 games.
rough red card against Akron City.
Yeah, really tough one, as that will leave Brendan Mower out of the lineup today, but he's still cheering on his teammates from the sidelines today. Dominic Williams will be your backup goalkeeper, but Cleveland SC, again, just still looking to get right back on the right foot. It started with that trip to Davenport University with a 5-0 loss to Michigan Rangers, dropping points to Steel City, taking a huge win back at home against Southern Indiana, but then dropping a really tough game. Stefan Dobrijevic from Akron City knocking in a hat trick, leaving Cleveland SC stunned.
It always hurts when you drop points out, especially on the road, but coming back home, some home cooking here against Erie. This should be a fun game for Cleveland, and let's see the young guys get a little pace up in the front.
Yeah, absolutely, and the team's looking pretty solid. Meanwhile, Erie Commodores also coming off of a pretty solid victory, a 7-1 win over the Southern Indiana Guardians. They come into this one with 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses, as we're just about to get ready and going. From Drive Morris Stadium, match day 8, Erie Commodores, Cleveland SC is now underway. Erie coming in with a formation that they haven't tried all season with a 3-5-2, as Tyler Card starting in between the sticks, Prieto, Diaz, Trapp, and Echeverry as the center backs. The 2 in the central midfield, Barthley and Peterson, Greggs and Murcic on the outsides, Zarka at the 10, and a prolific goal-scoring duo of James Lee Yaw and Harrison Watts up top, combining for 7 goals this season. Meanwhile, for Cleveland SC, Ryan Poling getting the nod after a couple games not going off to his full potential in terms of appearances. He's been out for a couple games. Fuentes and Sveko on the outsides of that back four, Rumiansky and Lewis as the center backs, Sean Wilson as the holding midfielder, Bozak and Treganson as the 2 box-to-box, and a pretty solid front 3. It's Julian Pellegrini on the left, Ryan Sommerfeld on the right, and the Ukrainian St. Louis City SC import of Stanislav Koval as the number 10.
It'll be really interesting to see Koval come in from the wing into the striker role and see if he can get some goals going for Cleveland.
It seems like they might switch things around a little bit, as of course Koval was allegedly deemed to be the striker, but I already see him on the left-hand side and Sommerfeld pushing more central. But as we see the Six City Syndicate smoke bombs having quite the effect on our view up here, but so be it.
It's a beautiful game for a reason, Gianluca. A beautiful game for a reason.
Sveko moving in around the back of Rumliansky, the Padova, Italy native. A long ball over the top, Summerfield trying to track it down. Card doing a solid job to eradicate that chance.
Really good timing coming out of the box there by Card.
Card's been largely trusted with the starting role for many games for Erie this season. David Skorodumov as the backup goalie for the visitors tonight.
Card's even wearing the armband today for Erie.
Yeah, he's got the captain's band. Meanwhile, for Cleveland SC in the middle, Danny Treganson leading his side tonight.
Strong veteran in the midfield.
Absolutely, yeah. Treganson has been fantastic for this team for a couple of years now, and always great to see him in there, usually accompanied by Daniel Karnarsik, not here today. So Sean Wilson moving in, the rising sophomore from Case Western Reserve, really solid player around the area, played for Avon during his high school career, and had a great start to his collegiate career with Carter Poe and the rest of the Spartans. Koval dropping in towards the center.
Treganson moving up with him.
Tries to push up, trying to find Fuentes inverting, but the ball intercepted and promptly taken back by Aiden Bozak.
Bozak getting stuck a little bit here.
And Bozak, one of those guys you can always trust in really tight spaces. What makes him such a good indoor soccer player as well, as he was one of the few players to play in every single game for the MLIS championship winning Cleveland Crunch this past season. Also, what earned him 52 appearances with the John Cura Blue Streaks in his 4-year career. Now Fuentes laying it off nicely. Koval in pursuit is Echeverry on the left-hand flank. Koval tries to go straight through, and solid stuff, but that one quickly taken away by Greggs.
One quick observation here. It seems like with the formation change for Erie, it looks like they are trying to flood the middle and make more of a mid-block on Cleveland today and force us outside.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy considering, you got guys like Stanislav Koval, who I believe was updated about a week ago, but he's still in the top 5, top 6 for the Golden Boot race in the NPSL, and Julian Pellegrini also bringing some pace. So I think the three at the back, you know, you have Motorchich and Greggs on the outsides, kind of looking to drop them back if need be. And by the looks of it, you know, Cleveland SC already on the prowl, a lot of speed on those wings that they're going to be relying on. But
it looks like Echeverry already got tested by some of the speed from Koval, as he's down, unfortunately, on the pitch right now.
yeah, tough 50-50. Let's hope he's okay. Just, you know, those 50-50 shots, you can't really pull off of him in that instance because you see Koval coming in with a head of steam right. I mean, just pushing in towards the 18-yard box. You don't want to be that guy that shies away, but you know what you're getting into when you put in that 50-50 tackle.
And it was a tough win by Koval, too.
But getting checked out. Going to see if, hopefully nothing too serious, but.
If he's ready to go, we do have a corner to Cleveland, though, which should be interesting to see who takes.
Himself up. Unfortunately, Echeverry's on his feet. Still a little shaken up, but walking under his own power, always a good sign.
Looks like they're going to bring him off at least for a little bit.
Yeah, of course, with the stoppage, they do have to be waved off and eventually waved back on with the official's approval, or be interesting to see if they go with a substitution. But
definitely would hurt going early into the subs, but we'll see what happens next.
With that, now Cleveland SC will have a corner. It's Koval to take. Bozak coming short. Treganson towards the corner of the 18. He'll receive it. Whips in a ball at the back post, down to the foot! And it's a brilliant goal to open the scoring. About 5 minutes into the contest, and the Italian center back Rumliansky capitalizes 1-0 to Cleveland SC.
What an amazing set piece. It was nicely planned. They had to bring up guys for Bozak on the short. Treganson on the outside, sliding it into Rumliansky. Amazing.
I mean, that's a perfectly timed run at the back post from Rumliansky. You kind of really figured that Treganson would receive that pass given that space, and just whips in a surgically precise cross straight to the boot of the center back. And, I mean, you can't ask for a better start than that, Nick.
Amazing start. We're only a minute in.
Cleveland SC goal.
Looks like the clock may have frozen up, but
it did.
was originally stopped. Well, of course, the clock always runs with soccer, so unfortunately not sure how much time has elapsed yet.
Well, hopefully the ref has the correct lock for us. So.
Sure he does, but with that.
We're back in play and already back in possession, too.
Fuentes. Sending it back to Rumliansky. Harrison Watts.
Looks like that left side of Cleveland's attack is where Erie is really going to be pushing us.
They definitely do like to use, you know, once the SC kind of starts to situate themselves on closer to one side of the pitch, they do tend to use that as a pressing trigger. Ball in the center now for Aiden Bozak. Jumps the ball over. Pellegrini going to try to chase this one down.
He's onside too.
Pellegrini sending it across. Sommerfeld trying to lead that one on. Cleared away. Koval's touch. Not all there, but they clear it straight to Treganson. Cleveland SC pushing forward.
Nice give and go.
That one deflecting out.
Fuentes really good on that overlapping run to set up that.
Fuentes linking up Koval in the center. Bozak. Lee Yaw intercepting. Now Watts. Well, lovely little chop of a pass into the center. And by the looks of it, a handful of these jerseys not quite lining up with what was on the squatty, so we'll try to figure out what goes on there as Lewis with a late tackle on Lee Yaw, and no questions asked, he's going to end up in the books pretty early here.
Yep. Ref already has the card out. Just waiting for him to stand up.
And, you know, as tough as it is, Lewis absolutely got the worst of that, but going into a challenge that quite frankly, had no business winning, and he certainly didn't. Now he's unfortunately going to have to, walking on ice for the remainder of these 90 minutes.
Definitely a candidate for being subbed out later on now. Luckily, this is a farther indirect free kick instead of something closer for Erie.
Looks like already Erie's looking to make a substitution as long ball chopping in over the heads of the masses and scooped up by keeper Ryan Poling. Trying to boot one out, goes off the back of Murvcic on the far side.
Save was strong, the boot was not.
Bozak pummeled on that challenge from Lee Yaw. And it'll be a free kick now for Cleveland SC.
That definitely looked like a business foul by Lee Yaw.
Of course, just one thing you don't want to test, it's this Cleveland SC team in transition, especially with all the pace they have up top.
Correct.
Lewis trying to play a long ball and nowhere near Fuentes, the intended target.
Just a little high and outside for Fuentes.
And that substitution coming in, Echeverry not able to continue. And coming in is Tarek Girouge. He'll be playing that outside center back role.
Yeah, when you get an early injury, it always hurts having to do a sub in the first half.
Of course, because, most coaches do really like to plan out their substitutions.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still a very spontaneous thing, but you like to have a decent idea. And, maybe in the eyes of the coach, Echeverry wasn't meant to be one of the guys subbed off, but unfortunately, you got to play with the cards that you're dealt.
And he was definitely helping on that block on our left side of our offense too. So it does hurt to have to take away a starter in that spot.
Concession stand will benefit the Woods family, who recently lost their son, Julian Woods. Again, thank you to the band for running tonight's concession stand.
Playing it out of the back.
Tarek already getting a lot of play and just coming onto the pitch.
Who's coming in from the University of Charleston as Watts rounds the keeper. Oh my goodness, and it's back to even grounds. It's 1-1, and that's just a completely out of right field. That's something that this Erie Commodores team is known for, is just how quick they can build up on the attacking end. And, I looked up, and the ball went from midfield to the 10-yard line, and Watts.
Bad mistake by Poling, too. Dove really too quickly, and Watts was able just to dribble right around him.
And that's brilliant work, as Watts kept himself very composed in that situation. It's so easy to get ahead of yourself and, try a chip shot or, just get a little bit too overwhelmed with all that pressure coming in, but he just rounds the keeper, barely gets past, and just taps it in for a lovely goal, and that'll be his 4th goal of the season. We said he'd be one to watch out for. Now that makes 8 goals between the two strikers, knotted up at 4 apiece, and just like that, it is 1-1.
Rumliansky tried to keep back and keep up with Watts, but unfortunately it was already too late.
It's wonderful work, and this is what you expect, a fun stat, but in these last 5 meetings against Erie Commodores, 3 of those have ended up with a scoreline of 3-2. I remember last season it was an incredibly fiery game at Finney Stadium, and that one ended 3-2 as well. As
maybe we got another 3-2 on our hands here today.
Yeah, might be a pretty high-scoring contest, and based on
a lot of pace on the passes so far, too.
Watts laying it off, and Lee Yaw exploiting that space as from Leonsky and Lewis got to start figuring things out as both of them pushed up to try and apply some pressure to the ball, and that left a wide open path for the secondary striker to try and pounce on that through ball.
Napping. Good thing Poling was able to run up and knock the ball out of him.
Girouge pushing up. Ball intercepted by Fuentes.
Nice through ball, but nobody there, unfortunately, for Cleveland. Ball tried to run it down.
Bozak cleaning it up, playing Trick Ganson, and it's back with Chris Saveco, the Iron Man of this Cleveland SC team, playing since the AFC Cleveland days.
Wow.
Also a member of that Crunch team as well. Ball lofted over the top. Sommerfeld not able to track that one down. His card's well off his line.
Really good shoulder to shoulder from the center back there, too. Keeping Sommerfeld slowed down. Nice interception by Lewis here, though.
Lewis and Rumiansky definitely going to be tested with those two strikers. And Pellegrini called off sides. And I'm not sure if he just positioned himself perfectly as the ball was getting towards him, if he was still a step off. But
looked like it was a close one to me.
yeah, it was certainly a close one. But, of course, that AR was
right in front of him.
Flush
so he had
with
a good
that play.
Angle. Very good angle from the AR. Nice interception by Koval.
Yeah, Koval breaking it up. Now Bozak.
Like you said, he's very good in those tight spaces. Got out another one.
Back with Koval. Lacing a wonderfully weighted through ball. Fuentes on the left, trying to square it across.
Oh!
And that clearance getting outside of the 18-yard box. And Erie escape with it again. Quickly trying to build up that counterattack. And you can see those wing midfielders kind of creating some malleability for those counterattacks because they just add a little element, opens up some space, with how high tempo this Erie team is. It's very crucial if you want to get your strikers open.
And Greg's made a nice little lane for Watts to get the ball on that last attack. Now he's on the ball again.
Greg's lining up and moving right. Push through, and not an 18 on the Squatty app, so we're going to have to play that one by ear, but believe that's going to be Charles Peterson.
I believe you're right because I do not see an 8 anywhere on the pitch.
Koval letting that one get away from him.
Eric back on the ball for them.
Watts just slipping himself up, and Treganson picking up the scraps.
Good defense by Watts.
Booting this one to the far side of the pitch. Header won by Murcic, and ball's one back. Beautiful ball, and
flag is up, unfortunately. They were offsides on this one, unfortunately. You could see that they were at least 2 or 3 steps beyond before they even got the ball up there.
It was certainly a close one, though, but I think the center backs picked up on what they were going to have to deal with and just took one step up. Perfectly timed offsides trap.
Definitely saw Cleveland trying to switch up the field and realized they had more of the team flooded to their right, so they needed to stop it on the left by not having a deep line.
Now Erie building up from the back. Played out wide with Dylan Greggs. Koval following suit and tapping that one out for a throw.
A lot of nice speed on Koval on that defensive stop for him.
Koval tapping it back. Now Fuentes dribbling himself into a pickle. And just like I said, those pressing triggers along the sideline, it's pretty easy to see. Kind of using that touchline as an additional defender. It's been working to a T thus far for the visitors. Now Pellegrini getting it with some open space.
A lot of space for these guys, a lot of space. A lot of blue shirts, but a lot of space.
Koval. Pellegrini. Sending it back to Yulito Fuentes. Back with Rumliansky. Rumliansky's 26 years old and still keeping up with a lot of these college kids. He's been excellent. Back in 2022, finishing his final year of eligibility with Case Western Reserve. Played a majority of his career at Notre Dame College and course, going to Case for his masters.
Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine is proud to be the official medical provider for Cleveland SC. Cleveland Clinic's team sports medicine specialists deliver high quality care.
Ironically, with all that creativity, all that innovation up top, it was the center back that knocked in the goal.
Guardians and of course Cleveland SC.
Sometimes you just got a lanky center back to get his head on it and knock it in.
ClevelandClinic.org/sportsmedicine to learn more.
This is some
Giving too
excellent
much space
space
to
here for
Greggs.
Gregson. Has a shot, and Poling letting that one float over for a goal kick.
That was heads up by Greggs. He saw the gap in the Cleveland defense. No help really, but there was a nice hole for him to try to make a shot happen.
Unfortunate touch from Sveko trying to get a lead. Maybe just wasn't quite aware of how close he was to that sideline. Now the throw to Watts. Tough touch for Sean Wilson. On the far side, Motovcic lacing in a ball, headed down, just out of the reach of James Lee Yaw. Koval once again tracking back to make a defensive play and earns himself the throw.
Gotta love when a winger can always come back and help the defense out.
Absolutely, and a lot of that times, you know, there's kind of a trade-off where they may not have the offensive presence, but Koval's been quite end-to-end so far.
And Erie just making the throw higher up the pitch.
Sveko. You can see just how condensed this Erie team is turning out to be. And the wing midfielder on the weak side is kind of dropping in as a contemporary back four. And
Just trying to find some space for Cleveland at this point with all the midfield flooding that Erie is doing on us.
for a throw just past the midfield line. Nice tap forward. Tries to play a ball to the near side on the left for Stanislav Koval. Far too much curve on that one. And it will trickle out for a Tyler Card goal kick.
Erie getting it back in quickly. I've been sitting on it.
Card will send a ball all the way to the opposite 40. Header won by Cleveland SC, and Sherganson chasing it down and tapping it over the top for Cleveland State's Julian Pellegrini. He's just muscled off of it. Lovely tackle there from Daniel Prieto Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz is going up the field with it right now. Pass it off to Leah.
Leah pushing up.
Trying to find Watts.
And you see that ball traveling far quicker than usual with all the rain that's been coming in all day here.
Definitely a slick pitch.
Played in, and that ball tapped out of bounds by Lewis for a corner kick. Good presence of mind from Watts to just let that one
Very smart.
Yes, just simmer down out of bounds and earn themselves a corner instead of trying to play it with his own feet. And quite the difficult situation.
Weird seeing a striker not being selfish.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard not to be. Corner coming in for Erie. Lofted up and
Poling knocked it off there.
Yeah, wonderful stuff there from the keeper. It's one thing that sets him above. Something you can always trust with Poling is just how aggressive he is, especially on set pieces. Not afraid to jump into some people.
Heavy traffic in that one, so it's a good thing he got out of there.
And Koval knows he's offsides, and
offsides.
linesman's going to call it. Just mistiming that one was Ryan Sommerfeld, the Ohio Northern striker.
does seem Erie's trying to find more long balls and some counterattacking play more for their attack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just pedal to the metal with Erie. Certainly was last year with that 3-2 game. I mean, it was just the counterattacks, and most notably, they'd also have their keeper pushed quite far off of his line. Of course, this year not so much, but a lot of principles still stand with just how quickly they want to turn defense into offense.
Yeah, he's been staying mostly in the box, so coming out here and there. Looks like they're trying to reset on Cleveland's defense.
Prieto Diaz toying around the back with Giroux. Ball over now. Foot race. It's Rumliansky and Watts. Watts will learn himself the throw.
Heads up move by Watts, realizing Rumliansky was the last one to touch it. Looks like we're going to have a long throw here.
Yeah,
almost set piece-like for Erie.
Pushed all the way back onto the track. And we'll send this one all the way into the area, just floating over, and looks like a foul off the ball on one of the Commodores players.
Foul does stop it for them. That felt like the old days of Stoke City using Rory DeLapp as a long ball specialist.
Yeah, it's
for the throw-ins, and hey, they got plenty of goals on that.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting evolutions of soccer, especially now in the States. You see that long throw being far more weaponized than even just a handful of years ago.
If you got someone that can chuck it, you might as well use it.
Say, yes, someone to chuck it in the personnel to try and get the ball in the net is Summerfield playing a ball into the center. Treganson gets a fairly decent touch on it, but Barthley drives him out of bounds, or so we thought. And Koval wins the header into the center. Pellegrini's shot blocked. Bozak on the top of the 18. And that shot straight into the loving arms of the keeper. But Cleveland SC trying to get a little bit more chaos inside of that 18-yard box.
Tyler Card very smooth and collected there, because that was a lot of Cleveland SC guys attacking in that run-up.
And some great last-ditch defending as well. Erie's certainly on top of things. It's not easy to, stay light to the touch with a hefty drive from Erie to Cleveland, especially in this weather, but so far they certainly have been on their A game. Rumliansky chopping a ball through. Ball touched on for Lee Yaw, and Harrison Watts is open through the center of the box.
Woo, what a save by Ryan Cole.
And you gotta wonder why Lee Yaw just didn't square it across to the other striker. I mean, that could have been what to break them through. And
we have moments of unselfishness with Watts, and now we have moments of selfishness with Leah. The duality of a striker.
You certainly got to question the decision-making there, because even saw Poling was in no position to stop the ball if that ball was squared across to Harrison Watts. And you even saw Leah take a gander over to the right-hand side of the box. And if you're Erie, you just got to hope that chance doesn't come back to bite you. Koval tapping it away, but immediately giving it away for Barthley. Zarka dropping back in with the defense.
Very deep for a attacking midfielder to be this far back.
And you can see Morvcic on the far side is kind of like a flat front three. Not sure if this is just something temporary or a tactical switch that the head coach has made seemingly off the top of his head here.
Could just be that we had an overzealous fullback.
You certainly got to play with what you're working with your opponents as well, as
Correct.
Lee tripped up from behind. And it'll be a free kick now for Erie.
Free kick.
Luckily, no maliciousness, no cards.
Both arms go up, chopping this one in. Ooh, and that one, I believe, last touching off of Cleveland SC, but it's offsides anyway. Watts just a step behind the last defender.
Offsides.
Very lucky for Cleveland, but if Watts got a hang of it, it did look like it was going to hit the crossbar. And we're right back in it with Cleveland attacking.
And Koval trying to take advantage of, a very ambitious Tyler Card rushing out. But when you're in split minds in that instance as a keeper, you just got to go with the decision you've made, and fortunately, it works to his benefit.
Got very lucky that there was no orange shirts behind him to take the ball away.
Coast-to-coast ball all the way to the far side for Sveko from Aiden Bozak, and Sveko dribbling straight into the opposition. That tackle by Treganson, just losing his balance and going into it.
Erie Commodores free kick.
It was Trapp pushing forward. Again, that
Whole lot of nothing on that one.
yeah,
for
that
Erie.
those touch lines have been weaponized by both teams alike, as Zarka just dribbling his way out of bounds, readapting to his offensive position on paper.
Fuentes calling for it.
Fuentes from Twinsburg. He's played just about every position on the pitch so far this season. Started at left back, which was interesting enough because he's played a majority of his career in the center of the park, and then the next game after that against Niagara 18-12, he ends up on the wing. And it seems like Joe Jovanovski loves to see him at that left back spot, as that's where he's remained for a good portion of the season. But I mean,
Sometimes the center mids slide into the fullback positions very nicely. It reminds me very much of David Alaba when he would do that for Munich when he was originally a CDM and slid back into the left back position nicely.
yeah, you never know, and especially with this age group, there's so many guys that are malleable. You can throw them around, and with club level nowadays, you're playing just about everywhere. There's a handful of guys in this area that are like that, and Yulito Fuentes is one of them, as this is an excellent run from Murvcic trying to square it into the center. And that one picked apart by the Australian Jordan Lewis. Straight back with Erie. It's Greggs playing it to his left. Now Peterson. And that's a crunching challenge from Treganson. And again, Treganson making the tackle, but he's gotten the worst of it. Yeah, a really tough tackle. I mean, there have been some crunching 50-50s today.
Yep. Looks like he's going to need to get looked at it.
It was a pretty visceral reaction as soon as the contact. Before he even hit the ground, you heard a bit of a wince of pain from the captain. Let's hope it's just one of those kind of quick jolts of discomfort and he'll be okay. We'll see how that goes. Cleveland SC with a much more attacking-oriented bench today. Dominic Williams, the backup keeper. Got Brendan Swan in the midfield. Lucas Oliveira and Tapiwa Mushonga as defenders. And up top, Jaden Wright, Logan Penton, two John Carroll players that'll be returning for their 5th year this upcoming fall. And Ethan Jacobs, the rising junior, who just transferred from Cal State Dominguez Hills.
A lot of depth there. A lot of depth.
Yeah, a lot of attacking players, a lot of speed, I'll tell you that much. I mean, with the 3 they got on the field, and Jaden Wright, Logan Penton, 2 very explosive wingers. Ethan Jacobs kind of switched between a striker role and center attacking mid role, a winger role. He's done just about everything, being, I believe, a 2-time All-American at Bay High School during his time there.
I do love when you have like guys that can come in and out of the lineup too.
Again, they have beverages, including pop,
Ethan
water,
Jacobs playing at
Gatorade,
Dominguez
really
Hills,
hungry,
and then this
which you should be 'cause they
fall
got
will be
pizza,
playing
pretzels,
at Bellarmine
hot
University.
dogs, nachos, candy, and chips, and they take cash or credit.
It'll be a drop ball.
All donations at the
And
concession
Erie will
stands
start from
benefit
scratch.
the Woods family, who recently lost their son, Julian Woods.
Official allowing Treganson to get wave back on. Cross coming in, headed away by Lewis, but it's straight back with Erie.
Treganson was coming back on a little gingerly, but he looks like he's fine now.
flicked into the center. Bozak tapping it on. Sommerfeld trying to chase it down. But again, it's excellent transitional defense. So far, defensively, when Cleveland SC trying to turn the tide quickly, Erie hasn't quite had the numbers, but they've had the energy. The recoveries have been excellent.
They've been able to body off Sommerfeld and a few other guys, unfortunately, and even when Pellegrini's made some nice runs, it's just not been enough. Bozak trying to release Pellegrini as I was just talking about him, but unfortunately just gets it a little too far down.
Leonski colliding with Harrison Watts, but he gets the best of the striker.
Nice touch from Fuentes.
Stanislav Koval. Just a little love tap forward, trying to find Sean Wilson. Clearance off the boot of Koval and straight back with the Commodores. Tries to play that ball on for Lee Yaw.
Fortunately, with Wilson making that long run there, it's a little bit of a hole in the middle right now. Bozak's trying to fill it a bit.
And chips a ball over the top for Koval, who will chase this one down, but he's offsides again. Yeah, he's mistimed his run there.
Cleveland SC offside.
That one was a tight one, though. He's just almost there.
Yeah, it was. He's just committed a couple milliseconds too early.
You could tell he just wants to unleash his speed and get down the pitch, too. Card looking like he wants a long ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of those awesome Cleveland SC jerseys with the Iggy's Bar logo on the front? Iggy's Bar, just another friendly neighborhood bar on Madison Avenue. Cleveland's home of F1 and Liverpool FC, and a proud supporter and sponsor of Cleveland SC.
Bozak ball gets away from Peterson, but he's still jumping right on top of things.
In the team shop.
Great interception there by Ruben Leonski.
Fuentes tries the long ball, once again eradicated. Greggs turning in towards the center, now for Ethan Zarka.
Due to all the long balls, we haven't really seen Zarka on the ball that often.
Yeah, he's been very busy in terms of movement. You've seen him drop back a pretty healthy bit, but yeah, hasn't been as involved in the attacking end because, I mean, if he's dropping back and how quickly this team builds up, doesn't really have any room for him to try and fiddle his way into the front line. Zarka from the University of Charleston, native of Paris, France, actually.
Wow.
So, yeah, a handful of foreign imports on this Erie Commodores team. Last year having the Japanese duo up top of Kaito Ueki and Shota Toyama, and man, they were fun to watch. Sveko linking up, Pellegrini.
Cleveland State man trying to find somebody.
Oh, now in towards the center, shot from Wilson, but wound up near post and out for a goal kick.
Needed a little more power on that one for Wilson to test Card in that defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the match. I'm going to say Cleveland. You say SC. Cleveland! Cleveland! Cleveland!
Lofted in towards Greggs.
Left a wide open gap there for Cleveland. And luckily, they flooded back in as soon as the ball got over there.
Yeah, you start to see a higher press, those 2-8s kind of pushing forward and giving Sean Wilson for quite a bit of work in the center. And again, Treganson
no stopping
at that lower leg.
So ref is saying play on.
And Koval just getting grabbed.
Jersey being pulled. That's an instant yellow there. Looks like Peterson on the yellow card.
Yeah, one of those things, I mean, there really wasn't that much of a hope for a transition. So you got to wonder, if you want to try to halt Koval, there's no reason to be so blatant about it anyways.
And he had Tarek right behind him. He had no reason to do that. Tarek could have easily stepped to Koval and take away the possession.
A bit of an ill-advised foul there, but nonetheless, another player ending up in the books tonight. He'll join Cleveland SC's Jordan Lewis.
Looks like Bozek will be taking this free kick from
Commodores
midfield.
FC, yellow card. Cleveland SC, free kick.
Koval's touch, a bit heavy, and Lee Yaw winning it right back. A deflection bringing it back to the Aussie Jordan Lewis.
Luckily, it was just Lewis in that space. There was nobody else really around at that time.
Bozak pushing forward.
Living dangerously next to that line, too.
Oh, and a tough giveaway there from Rumliansky, and he commits to trying to win it back. Cleveland SC catching Lee Yaw offsides, fortunately, as Watts was probably going to be sprinting into a similar position as the last time those two were on a breakaway.
Looked like it was going to be 1v1, too. Very lucky to have him on the offside.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, the official time is kept on the field by the officials.
So by the looks of it, should be approaching the 45-minute mark any time now with some difficulties with the clock. Not 100% sure where we are in that department, but given a couple injuries, assuming about 3 or 4 minutes of added time as Fuentes trying to take Greg Zahn directly. That's a lovely, well-calculated tackle from the Mercyhurst player. Treganson just lets that one get away from him, turning into the center, and it's a promising outlook now for Erie. Moving to the right for Peterson.
Unfortunately, it's just that slick pitch that got ahead of Treganson there.
Zarka turns, looked nice, but Lewis was crashing into the box.
We're on the other way.
Sommerfeld just barely gets that ball pickpocketed. That's excellent work from Lewis Trapp.
Very, because Sommerfeld looked like he was on a run.
Lee Yaw cutting inside, having a crack from a long way out. That's a solid save there from Poling. And with the conditions, why not test Poling from a long way out? Those skids on the ground.
Very smart by Poling, too. Because sometimes those ones that are close to call slide right by you.
Erie Commodores corner.
Solid work, and now the
This is
Commodores.
where Poling has done his work in this first half on these corners and set pieces. So let's see how he does here.
Commodores will have a corner. One towards the front post. Flicked up and straight out of bounds, and you can see Trapp was trying to just get a cheeky touch on the ball, create some sort of misdirection, and hope that one of his teammates would get on the end of it, but instead, just driving it straight out of bounds.
Looked like they were trying to go low, but it went a little too low.
Sveko receiving the goal kick from Poling. And yeah, Cleveland SC's bench calling for a handball, and they get it.
Clearly off the arm on that one.
Cleveland SC free kick.
That ball flicked on by Wilson, but helplessly as Koval had no angle.
Saved by number 1, Tyler
Unfortunately, nobody there. Zarka deep again. Card trying to readjust the Erie attack.
Yeah, taking
Again
his
with
time.
the long balls, though. Trying to get Watts, it looks like. Instead, he just passed right to Poling.
That ball cleared up and away. Now for another throw, and the Commodores wasting no time, but Rumliansky jumps the gun. Gets ahead of Watts. As that ball played down the line, Sommerfeld in a foot race, and that's just an excellent challenge there from Lewis Trapp.
Good timing.
Yeah, an ambitious tackle because if he got Sommerfeld before he got the ball, that's an instant yellow. But a well-calculated play on the ball from the Germany native center back playing at Mercyhurst. Started his career at the University of Bridgeport. There's another long ball. Intercepted now by Cleveland SC.
Quick turnaround.
Bozak finding Stanislav Koval.
Oof.
Just kind of getting in his own way there, and all Girouge had to do was reap the benefits and plays Harrison Watts blazing down that sideline, and Rumliansky got a really tough landing there.
You could tell Rumliansky was really running that one out, trying to keep up with Watts, and eventually got ahead of him.
Yeah, he did, but as he fell, landed on the ball and kind of his whole body sliding over the ball, and that one for sure causing some discomfort.
Luckily, it looks like he's going to be okay. Looks like we're going to have Poling take the free kick.
Cleveland SC free kick.
Nice little boot from Poling.
Played up. Headed towards the left, but straight in the path of Stanislav Koval. Threads a ball to Sean Wilson. Gets a good first touch, but just enough congestion to throw him off. That ball cleared out of bounds for a Cleveland SC throw.
Interesting to see Wilson getting into the mix with the attack this most of the second half of the first half.
He was definitely dropping a lot further back to start, and as the game's progressed, you see Treganson kind of take up that pivot role as Pellegrini's tripped up with a tough challenge. Free kick now for Cleveland SC. Can't imagine there's much time left in the half.
Can be a dangerous area here. See if they can set up something.
Only a handful opportunities to progress forward left for Cleveland SC unless they can keep the pressure in the ball positioning here.
SC free kick.
Treganson's going to have to boot this one deep into the box.
Treganson chopping a ball in. Headed away, falls to Koval. Just can't control it, and again, it's another patented Erie Commodore counterattack, and my goodness, that's a beautiful ball all the way to the far side for Lee Yaw. Here comes Erie. Lee Yaw penetrating the 18, plays a ball, and at the near post, Best's Poling, and it's 2-1 to the visitors. It's a tremendous goal for James Lee Yaw.
That long ball out to Lee Yaw on the left is definitely going to be a big difference maker in this match here. Definitely thought Cleveland probably was thinking, hey, it's going to roll out, but never did. Stayed in. Lee Yaw was able to get on and make a run.
I mean, it takes a lot of nerve and a lot of confidence to play a ball at the near post in that position with the right foot. That is absolutely gorgeous. And it's his 5th goal on the season.
And 9th for this striking pairing.
Yeah. You saw Erie have been finding their groove slowly but surely, if it wasn't self-evident, with a 7-1 win over the Southern Indiana Guardians. They're starting to find it against Cleveland SC, and there was no better time to have that second goal strike than right now, because now that's just another sour talking point for Joe Jovanovski and his guys going into the halftime break.
Maybe, just maybe, we can get a quick tack off here for Cleveland.
Looks like that's what they're going to attempt to do here.
Probably last possession. Oh.
And it might turn out to be Erie that might get another final laugh, as Lee Yaw's pass just not enough to find the feet of Watts.
collective deep breath after that one by a lot of the Cleveland players.
Yeah, and with that, the head official blowing the halftime whistle. Erie leading 2-1, and I mean, Nick, it's been a pretty end-to-end contest, but Erie's just been able to maximize their chances a little bit better.
Their long ball attacking has been working great for them. Like I said, they flood the midfield really well against Cleveland. They're really pushing Cleveland to push out to their wingers on the outside, and they're able to kind of mitigate any sort of attack by Cleveland by controlling the game, basically, right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a very high-risk, high-reward system, and a lot of the luck has been coming to them, but you got to tip their cap to how well they're playing. Because you see, Card is just booting the ball up to the two strikers, but aerially they've been fantastic. They've been in the right places to receive the headers, and then if they do receive the headers, that's when you see the assistance from the midfield pushing up. I mean, the way that the team moves as a unit, I think that's really what's contributing to the success here so far.
They're winning the aerial duels against Rumliansky and Lewis right now, and that's a big problem for Cleveland. They're going to have to clean that up in the second half, and I'm not sure what they're going to need to do, either sub or change it up a little bit on who's covering who and who's basically going to take what, but definitely the aerial duels and getting on the ball for Watts and Leo. We got to slow that down.
Absolutely. I think Cleveland SC just have to be a little bit more deliberate with their attacking chances.
Correct.
They're moving the ball up the pitch quite nicely, but outside of that, it hasn't been incredible. You know, the shots haven't been high percentage, and they just got to do a little bit better. But with that, Joe Jovanovski and Erie Commodores, they have a lot of subs to use in the second half and a lot of talking to do in the locker rooms. As we'll take a break here on this YouTube stream, Cleveland SC down 2-1 to the Erie Commodores here at Drive Morris Stadium. We'll be right back. on, baby. Come on. Work ethic out of us. He sends it a beautiful cross at the far post. What a save by Pedro Alves. Wow. And we're back. Drive Morris Stadium, North Olmsted High School, North Olmsted, Ohio, match day number 8 in Cleveland SC's NPSL campaign, trailing 2-1 to the visiting Erie Commodores. John Luca DiGiacomo and Nick Prokop here on the call, live on YouTube. It was a tough first half, to say the least, for Cleveland SC. Started things off very, very early on with a corner played short to Daniel Treganson, lofted in a beautiful cross to find the foot of Alexander Rumliansky on the far post. And then after that, things went south. Watt scoring and Lee Yaw scoring right before the end of the half. And a penalty to Cleveland SC off of a handball.
Quick. That was quick.
It took no less than 37 seconds to get things going with a couple of fresh faces up top. JCU's Logan Penton and Jaden Wright. And Stanislav Koval will have a chance to increase his goal tally, which has him at the top of the league for Golden Boot, among the best of the best. Also has a chance to get Cleveland SC on level terms. I mean, that's just the last thing you wanted to see if you're an Erie Commodores fan. Conceding a penalty. Handballs, especially off of crosses like that, are always really tough to read as a defender. You can't entirely put the blame on, I'm not quite sure who's responsible for it, but nonetheless, it'll be a costly error. And Koval will have a chance to equalize. Just waiting for the approval of the official. There's the whistle. Koval steps, Koval takes it, Koval nails it! 2-2, Cleveland SC, even Steven, just 90 seconds in to the second half of affairs.
Gotta love a quick response. Exactly what Cleveland needed.
And a brilliant way to kick off the second half. Stanislav Koval makes it 2-2. Now you see the smoke bombs. If your screen's starting to get a little bit grainy, it's not on the behalf of your computer or your television.
That's
I'm
just
getting
the
a little,
Six City Syndicate just having a little fun here at the
potent
stadium.
smell we're getting up here as well. Woo.
Fresh one.
Yeah, it's like, oh man. It's like somebody's blown out like 100 birthday candles at the same time. Whew.
That's a great way of putting it.
Trickling out of bounds, and Cleveland SC are right back on track. And hey, Nick, you said, wouldn't it be quite interesting to see another 3-2 result to make it 4 in the last 6 meetings? We might get it.
We might get it. We might get it now. Just someone needs to put in another goal, and hopefully it's Cleveland. Definitely a good confidence boost this early in the second half.
That Cleveland SC goal was powered by Iggy's
Definitely
Bar.
drains the morale of Card even more because he guessed the right way, just wasn't able to fully extend. That's such the tough part. I mean, it's a guessing game for a goalkeeper during penalties, but you have to be fully confident in your decision because it's even more draining if you guess the right way and you still don't get the ball.
And sometimes it's not even just the side, it's also the height and the angle of the ball coming in. If you don't know where it's coming at, it's going to be a little harder to get to.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the concession stand is open. It's located in the north end of the stadium, north end of the home stand. And again, they have, for beverages, pop, water, and Gatorade. If you're hungry, they got pizza, pretzels,
Ball lofted over, and that one booted away by Prieto Diaz.
They accept cash and credit.
Bozak whipping it across at the back post. Koval almost getting to it.
Definitely looks like the fresh legs are helping out Cleveland.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no better fresh legs to have up top than guys like Jaden Wright and Logan Penton. It's Jaden Wright scoring, I believe, 7 goals last season for the Blue Streaks, 5 of which were game winners. And Logan Penton just an incredibly intense inside forward. And you see he's playing more of a midfield role today. Most notably, he scored a scored a hat trick in a 4-minute span against Baldwin Wallace last season at Finney Stadium. So
wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, when he strikes, he really, really hits the team. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets on the score sheet. And speak of the devil, Penton's on the attack, but he's called offsides.
Quick burst there, just unfortunately just on the other side of the line.
Actually call games as well as his younger sister making her USLW debut for Cleveland Forces women's team this past week. So certainly a soccer family. Nonetheless, now Erie. I get it, just 5 minutes into the second half, in the first 37 seconds. Cleveland struggled with a penalty kick, and Stanislav Koval slotting in yet another goal on the year. Fuentes intercepting that pass, but can't quite keep it in bounds.
Cleveland's seeing a lot more of the ball so far in this second half, and that's definitely been helping them.
Yeah, those adjustments certainly are working quite nicely, and that's the one thing about having a system where, you know, you move as a team unit and you like to play the long ball, the quick build-ups and counterattacks. It can be kind of easy to counteract once you know, a coach and the players have a chance to sit down and talk through what they've played through. It's a lot easier to work with, and you've seen that. Lee Yaw and Watts not exactly getting their hands muddy so far in the second half.
I think having Jaden Wright's speed on the right is definitely going to help them a little bit. You've not say Pellegrini's not fast or anything, but definitely a different look for Cleveland now.
Yeah, Pellegrini on the right. So they're definitely taking a more attacking approach to this one because Bozak has also played up top, and they have a midfield duo of Bozak and Penton who have both played on the wings as well. You've got Wright on the right, Koval and Pellegrini up top. So, I mean, this is a really high-voltage attack. It would be quite disappointing to not see them try and tally on a few more goals. Sommerfeld took a seat. No, and Lewis has just been beat by Watts, and Rumliansky just getting his body in the way to pick out that pass. Through ball played, and the Cleveland SC have some numbers. Jaden Wright pushing forward, cutting inside.
Very nice cut by
Pellegrini trying to play the 1-2, and Lewis Trapp, excellent work just trapping the ball under his boot to break up that chance, and the ball goes into touch on the far side for a throw-in.
Definitely a smaller look by having Pellegrini push in and taking Sommerfield off.
Koval. Cheeky nutmeg, but doesn't get anything quite productive in the end.
Retaining possession, at least.
Penton, dispossessed Trapp once again, putting in a lovely tackle. Trying to send that long ball for Watts, but wasn't quite in a position to start sprinting down the end line.
Watts might be a little bit gassed here in the second half. He was on the ball a lot for Erie in the first half.
I'm gonna say, like we were talking about before the half, those strikers were tasked with really bringing down the possession, being the only two guys up top when Card played the long balls out of the back. As that cross comes in, but it's straight with Card at the front post.
Save was made by number 1, Tyler Card.
Ball launched up. Headed down, Penton trying to chase it down, and it's a meaty challenge.
A lot of just resetting with Card now for Erie.
They certainly start to see that Cleveland has caught on to their act and really just looking for some way to kind of feel them out, find the adjustments, and exploit them. But so far, they haven't struck anything too innovative.
And not only is Cleveland retaining, it looks like they're also finding quick ways to get a nice tackle in here or there and change up the possession.
Bozak pushing forward. His former JCU teammate and Jaden Wright. Moving out to the right. Sveko pushing up. Linking up a nice 1-2 with Pellegrini. Sveko! Oh, and
just over the bar.
Penton not able to get his full body over that and strike that with any sort of confidence. That's just been chipped way over the bar.
Such a nice setup. Great run by Svetko.
Card trying to play it out of the back. Lovely first touch from Sveko, but the link up didn't quite go according to plan as Lee Yaw.
Lee Yaw just timed that very well.
Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine is proud to be the medical provider.
Oh, and he eats a...
Jaden Wright with an even better time tackle.
Yeah, really tough tackle as he absolutely got the ball, but unfortunately kind of went through and caught Lee Yaw with his studs.
877-440.
It's one of the things about Jaden Wright. I mean, he goes into every challenge
He's
fully
definitely
committed.
adding a lot of pace to the Cleveland attack in the second half.
Yeah, much of the time he's just fully committed in instances like that. And I mean, you saw that John Carroll accumulated quite the amount of yellow cards throughout his time there. And not for anything stupid, not for anything dirty, but just the fact that once he has his sights set on making a move, he makes the move, and sometimes the ball's not quite there when he goes through for the tackle, and next thing you know, he ends up in the books, but he'll definitely be on the officials' radar after that one. 57 minutes in, still 2-2. There's now Erie trying to take it the other way, and Jordan Lewis raining on the parade of Lee Yaw's through ball into the center.
Looked like it was probably going to be Erie's first good attack, and Lewis just stood strong.
Barthley taking it away from Hayden Bozak in the center of the park.
Diaz seems to be all over the ball for Erie in the second half.
Out wide right, Fuentes putting in a lovely tackle.
Very well timed, and he got it up fast, but a little too much for Wright.
Watts. Zarka. Of collision and a really tough tackle.
Trapping very fast, very hard on the Cleveland SC player.
On Pellegrini. It was just a
Pellegrini.
really rough landing. Again, won the ball nicely, but not without absolutely laying out the winger. He's up and back on his feet.
Quick recovery, nice to see after all the different hits we've seen all day today.
Yeah, it's been quite the
Very physical
derby.
matchup today.
Cleveland SC free kick.
Expect to see that high intensity with the NPSL, you know, the highest tier of semi-professional soccer you're going to get in the United States.
Yep.
There's guys that are hungry, guys looking to break out, you know, guys looking to maintain their playing career in one way or another once they get older, and you know, with that comes probably a lot of pent-up anger.
And there's not just MLS here. We do have a lot of USL teams that need some good talent, too. So some of these guys could easily get picked up that way, too.
I was going to say, you know, you saw from the NPSL, even our rivals down on the opposite side of I-77 in Akron City, Dyson Clapier getting drafted this past year as Lee Yaw lining up a shot saved by Poling.
Very good follow-up by Poling there. Very strong shot by Lee Yaw.
Tough collision there. Again,
It
brutal
is the
collision.
goalkeeper's box, though. Lee Yaw needs to be careful with that.
Yeah, and, you know, again, Lee Yaw just following through. We always say Poling is never shy when it comes to throwing his body in unnatural and difficult positions.
Cleveland definitely missed his presence back there, and hopefully he's all right.
I might just need a second.
Sometimes you just get the wind knocked out of you in those quick collisions.
It looks like he might have got caught on the leg as when he flew in, picked up the ball and kind of slid forward, and right where Lehigh was about to strike the ball is where his knee ended up, and probably ate a nice kick to the leg.
Yep. Let's see what Cleveland could do here on the reset.
Poling plays a low, powerful ball into the center of the park.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to rewatch tonight's match, make sure you go to YouTube and watch Cleveland SC on the Cleveland SC page. And again, the announcers are John Luca DiGiacomo and Nick Procop. Do an excellent job, and believe me, you're going to enjoy their commentary. Make sure you tune in on YouTube, Cleveland SC channel.
Cutting that one out now, Treganson. As me and Nick serenading in our shout out over the PA. Nice give and go, Treganson looking to chase it down.
It's a nice run by Treganson, but unfortunately just stifled by Trapp.
Trapp has been very proactive. First 20, 25 minutes of the first half, he didn't see him a whole lot, and the ball started coming to him and got the job done each and every time.
We discussed the formation change for Erie, and honestly, him being the main center guy, he's really stepped into that role nicely for them today.
Wonderful tackle. Oh, my. That's a tough one there from Fuentes as he's won the ball, but again, he comes up with his studs up. And if you're going to go in for a challenge that risky, you got to make sure everything is picture perfect.
Yep.
Yellow card is issued to Cleveland SC's number 3, Uleto Fuentes.
And we're starting to get on a baker's dozen count of really rough collisions we've seen on the pitch today.
Unfortunately, it's very, like we said, it's a very physical match today.
Nothing outlandish, no severe injuries, fortunately. So all things considered, still adds a great bit of excitement to the game. This ball plastered up. Watts kind of with a give and go with the head with Charlie Peterson.
First kind of build-up for Erie in the second half, really.
Lewis steers it clear. Barthley hits it back into danger and just goes to Poling.
Trying to get a quick turnaround on the counter.
There's Jaden Wright. Heavy touch, and Wright's gone into that challenge with a rather improbable angle to win the ball. Oh, and what a ball from Penton with the outside of the boot. Koval's got to have some work to do to get to this one. He does. Koval squares it into the center. Pellegrini leads it on, but not nearly enough power to beat Tyler Card back there.
And right directly at Tyler Card, unfortunately.
In instances like that, with the weak foot, you're really just hoping that you're going to get the placement, but he didn't. And now Watts on the other end at the near post again. Muscled to the ground by Lewis, but not nearly enough contact.
Erie doing what they've been doing best so far today, getting that long ball up to the strikers and seeing what those strikers could do against the back. Watt had a good play there, but unfortunately was knocked out by Lewis. Well, fortunately, knocked out by Lewis.
It depends on what side you're rooting for tonight.
Yeah, it depends on which side you want to be looking at this from.
Koval sprinting onto this one. Hauls a prayer of a cross and goes all the way to the opposite side of the pitch and out of bounds.
Unfortunately, nobody there for that one. A lot of green space.
Tough foul there for how physical this official's allowed things to get tonight. A little interesting to call that one back, but.
Ladies and gentlemen, what are you doing on Friday night at 7 p.m.?
Getting a little bit chippy.
Back here for kickoff as it's our final home game of the regular season against the Michigan Rangers FC. Bring your friends. Bring your
USA
parents,
is also a CONCACAF nation too. We always talk about how physical players in CONCACAF are. So.
I say CONCACAF, the Gold Cup, in terms of goals scored, it hasn't been the most goal-scoring prolific tournament, but my goodness, has it been entertaining.
Yep.
I'll be making sure to tune into the 9 o'clock game tonight when I get home. As
Copa America is always fun when you have both CONCACAF and Common Bowl going at it.
tough collision on the near
Snuffed
side.
out by Cleveland, though.
It's Sveko slow to get up. Might have had an awkward landing on the shoulder as he went into that tackle with Ethan Zarka. Zarka going to check on him. And that one's just, really not related to play. Both of them just took a spill. It looks like Sveko's all good, fortunately.
Looked like two guys running really hard at the ball and
Yeah,
knocking each other out, basically.
Erie Commodores corner.
But Zarka's on the ball for the corner. A lot of blue shirts spread out in the box here.
so this is very interesting as they have a guy kind of holding along on the touch line. See if he'll kind of try to make a run in, and he does at the back post. And
Nothing there for Erie. A lot of orange shirts there.
Koval's drawing the foul to quickly shove a sock in that offensive momentum the Commodores are trying to build.
Dragant's trying to find Svetko real quick to get the turnaround for Cleveland. I'm sorry, Rumliansky, not Johansson.
All remaining in the air for the last few touches and finally brought down. Flicked forward by Motivcic. Some very solid link-up play. Peterson back with Motivcic, the Australian Mercyhurst player. Leal
Finally
trying
seen
to
some of
link
the ball,
up.
too.
I was going to say he was a bit dormant during the first half, and yeah, Koval's just been grabbed around the waist.
And if you haven't noticed, Cleveland looks like they switched up their attack a little bit. We got Pellegrini back on the right. Right is now far on the left, and Koval's in the middle.
Which that's the one thing that Joe Jovanovski has so much of with this team is versatility. It's so easy to throw people off when you have so many guys that can play in so many parts of the pitch, and every attacker on this team can play at least two of those slots out of that front three.
You got to love the fluidity. It keeps the defenses usually on their toes. Because even now, Wright is switching more to striker, and Koval's going back out the wing.
Ball poked down the left-hand flank, and Sveko will let that trail out of bounds for another goal kick.
Seen a lot of the action so far.
Yeah, he's been kept busy by Motivcic and Co. on this near side.
Erie Commodores FC substitution, number 22, Kemsey Termanini.
There's Ramzi Termanini checking on for the Commodores. And Ethan Jacobs looking to sub in momentarily for Cleveland SC. There's Termanini from Thomas More University.
Looks like he's coming in for Greg's.
Yeah, Greg's a well-deserved rest as he's put in quite the shift tonight.
A lot of the attack from the first half came through Greg's for Erie, so definitely some tired legs there.
And a team that likes to push the tempo from defense to offense so much. He was the closest thing to a liaison between the two that Erie had. Pellegrini will take a seat, and in comes Ethan Jacobs. Once again, like I said before, he was a two-time All-American at high school at Bay High School. Started his career at Cal State. Now this fall will be playing at Bellarmine University. There's another attack coming through, but the offsides flag is up from Samir Lilai.
Erie Commodores offside.
quick restart by Poling. Jacobs already on the ball, seeing some early action.
Finds Jaden Wright. Treated all the way towards the corner flag, cutting inside. Still on it.
Gotta love to see a lot of good pace while on the ball.
That's a lovely inverted run from Fuentes. Getting it across the middle, falls to Bozak, and he couldn't get over it as he sends that one flying into the track.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the concession stand is still open. They have pop, water, and Gatorade for
I honestly
beverages.
thought Bozak was
Pizza,
going to have a good
pretzels,
look at
hot
that
dogs,
one.
nachos, candy, and chips if you're hungry, and they accept cash.
We're still
and
knotted up
credit.
at 2-2 here.
Again, all donations
So
at the
anyone's
concession stand
game
will
with about
benefit
20
the Woods
minutes
family,
remaining.
Who recently lost their son, Julian Woods.
It's official playing advantage. Penn certainly up the ante in the physical game in the center of the park. Jansen floating a ball over the top off of the back of the head of Koval. Still managed to track it down. Koval plays Penton, who's got some space. He'll line up a shot, and that one
Well over
lifting
the
off the
field goal
ground.
crossbar, too, for that one for Penton.
Yeah, picking up too much
It's good for 3.
vertical acceleration. That one flies out. I remember Penton scored an absolute worldie of a goal at the front post against Carpathia FC at Case last season for this Cleveland SC team. Was the game winner as well, so certainly no foreigner to knocking in goals for the boys in orange. Break, official says play on, and Termanini's shot deflects out for a corner kick. You see that tension start to rise. Both teams kind of starting to flare up a little bit.
Still very physical. Luckily, no more new cards, though.
Yeah. Cleveland SC are just looking to get their season back on track, dropping 3 of the last 4.
Erie Commodores corner.
Not to mention getting shut out in all 3 of those games, which is very foreign to them with just how much attacking power they possess. This one's at the back post. Falls just to the top of the penalty spot, and a handball. And it's going to be a penalty for Erie. And just
unlucky.
And
there.
just as Cleveland SC was blessed with a penalty of their own, 38 seconds into the second half, now they're going to have to defend one. And the fate of some points here in the Great Lakes Conference rests in the hands of Ryan Poling as Ethan Zarka, the Frenchman, stands over the ball.
And there's nobody else I'd rather have in the goal right now for Cleveland.
Important moment here. Zarka stepping up, takes a stunner, save by Poling!
Poling with the save!
Huge stop for the Cleveland State keeper to keep things all knotted up at 2 apiece. Read that one perfectly, as Zarka just kind of revealing where he wanted that ball placed with his hips a little bit too much. Poling jumps the gun, and that's a tremendous save.
Got a little cheeky, and it helped Poling stop that one.
Now Cleveland SC looking to turn it the other way. The fresh legs in Ethan Jacobs.
He's got right.
Jaden Wright. Low ball across the center! Koval scores! 15 minutes to go, and this game is completely turned on its head. Stanislav Koval makes it 3-2 to Cleveland SC.
3-2. What did we talk about? 3-2.
A
heart-wrenching match.
A heart-wrenching, swashbuckling 30 seconds of open play. And at the back post, Koval has his second goal of the night.
What a way to answer. What a way to answer. All speed on that one.
Unbelievable.
Jacobs right, Koval. Can't get any better than that.
Wow. And Cleveland SC has gone from in the trenches to on cloud nine in a matter of moments. For the first time since about 20 or so minutes in, Cleveland SC have a lead.
And we got a brace for Koval today.
And it's 3-2, Nick.
3-2. Magic number. The magic number.
We want to make sure the neighbors hear us. We want them here on Friday night for the Friday night finale.
Still trying to process what just happened, but with that, another long throw coming in for Erie. As if this game could get any more exciting. Long ball lofted in, takes a deflection. Poling scooping it up and going to ground.
Very good quick defense from Cleveland on that one.
When Lewis.
Looks like he might have gotten a knock from Lee on that one.
It's been quite the demolition derby. Drive Morris Stadium today. And it's certainly not going to end now with how much tensions have just risen. Unfortunately, Lewis is up. Just needed a second.
Tell both of these teams really want these points.
You get the wonderful scent of the smoke bombs coming into the press box as well.
Celebratory.
Celebratory smoke bombs.
Gotta love when the Six City comes out and supports the boys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so great. You know, at this level, it's hard to find a passionate fan base to consistently come to games. And the Six City Syndicate,
they
really
always show up. They show out.
Absolutely. A couple guys leading the manpower and people joining in every once in a while. Why not have a good time? Make the drive all the way to North Olmsted. You might as well make some noise while you're at it.
And it's great for the little ones, too.
Not great to inhale the smoke bombs, though.
Unfortunately, no, not for that. But the experience and the atmosphere is definitely great for them.
To say, I remember at DeSanto Field calling a game with Cole McDaniel the other day. That looked like a handball to me there, but nonetheless, Bozak dispossessing that sliding challenge, taking that ball all the way towards the 6-yard box.
Yeah, Termani, he definitely had his hand on the ball on that one, but it looks like maybe because of the dispossession they decided to play on.
So he did a really good job to keep his arm close to his body, but since it was kind of used intentionally, you call the handball, but maybe the official couldn't see it. Nonetheless.
Svetko switching it up for him.
Jaden
Wright staying with it.
Great work.
Very quality work there from Wright. Looked like Trapp was going to get another turnover on Cleveland, and Wright stayed with the ball the whole way.
Cleveland SC free kick.
Now Bozak will be over this one.
Oh, he's giving way for Treganson.
To be the option for the man short as Treganson lofts in another one.
Just a little bit long.
You've got to work quickly here.
They are definitely running out of time.
Ooh, tough collision, but yeah, I mean, Jacobs just flew into the defender there, and he stayed steadfast. Good no call from the official.
A lot of times when you see those shoulder-to-shoulder action, the officials will just call no call because both of them are kind of going right at it. So
it'll be a triple substitution for Erie in just a moment here, as it will be Guillermo Ferreros checking in, as well as Ignacio Gallego. So a couple fresh legs for the attacking side of things, and number 26, Andy Jones.
FC substitutions, number 7, Ignacio Gallego, number 9, Dennis Verbinski, and number 19, Guillermo Ferrerio.
Unfortunately, the hero of the first half, Harrison Watts, has been pulled off with those changes.
And Dennis Verbinski is the other guy that checked in. Jones is about to check in, so they're leaving that sub for another break. Verbinski, striker, has a couple goals to his name this season for Erie. A lot of great attacking depth on this team, as we've seen guys like Gallego and Verbinski start up top, and Lee Yaw and Watts as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of different combinations, and I mean, tonight, you got to say, coaches picked out the right two, both of them getting on the score sheet tonight.
Yes, they did. And as we mentioned, Zarka being from Paris, we have Gallegos from Madrid for Erie. A lot of international flavor on this Erie team.
Liverpool FC, also a proud supporter and sponsor.
Turn played back now to Stanislav Koval, who looked like he was going to line up a shot.
That
would have been a very, very long strike from Koval.
On the front. Make sure you go to Cleveland.
Looks like it should be a Cleveland throw on that side, though.
If you'd like to purchase yours today.
A long one.
And Andy Jones will be checking in a moment. And Erie don't want to waste any time. The subbed off player
Jones
will
is
be
coming on.
He'll be exiting towards the touch line, I believe. I'm actually not sure who that is. Nonetheless, a sub is a sub, and Andy Jones will now see the pitch.
Fresh legs for Erie. That's all that matters for the Erie fans.
About 9 minutes to go. Jacobs receiving the throw inside of the 18, moving out, plays Koval.
And it was a really good job by Jacobs to get in front of Gallego for that one.
That one tapped out. Good presence of mind just to play that one out of bounds to let Cleveland SC track back. Jaden Wright applying some pressure here on Prieto Diaz. Long ball sent over. Touchdown by Movcic, penetrating inside of the 18, squaring it across.
Wow.
Ooh, and just behind, two Erie players crashing in towards the box, and you can see the attacking tempo certainly hasn't skipped a beat with all of those substitutions there, Nick.
Cleveland is lucky to get in there and stop that because, like you said, there were two blue shirts converging on the ball. Stutko getting the throw in here.
Looking for an option. Nobody quite checking to the ball.
Unfortunately, so far, a lot of blue shirts covering up orange shirts.
So Jaden Wright kind of gets ping-balled in between two defenders there.
He's staying with it, though, and trying to press this defense.
Crunching tackle on Jones. A beautiful win of the ball. Koval's going to keep it in bounds. Here comes Cleveland SC. Koval looking to return the favor, and that one's booted over the bar. As Trapp sends that one over, but again, that's an excellent counterattack there from the boys in orange.
That Koval run was very reminiscent of Leo's run on the goal in the first half. Almost looked like we had a fourth one going in for Cleveland there.
Cleveland SC corner.
Doesn't look like we have a lot of orange shirts flooding the box for this one.
Yeah, I mean, with
Might
the
be a little trickeration coming.
Yeah, and with the counter-attacking presence of this Erie team, you don't want to have too many guys on the attacking end of this.
Oh, very smart. Getting the ball up top to someone for a long shot. Unfortunately, dispossessed right away.
Koval's shot blocked, and here comes Erie the other way. Ignacio Gallego trying to track it down. Just can't get there. Allowed another throw for Erie.
Looks like they're trying to slow things down over there a little bit, but not exactly sure if they're trying to do their patented long ball or not, but it looks like they will do that.
It'll be another long throw and nearly identical spot where Erie had their first 2 long throws. Huge one sent in, headed towards the top of the box. Gallegos shot, runs into traffic, another shot blocked. And Cleveland SC get the handball that they were calling out for.
Very good man marking on defense there from Cleveland. Wherever you saw a blue shirt, there was an orange shirt right behind them.
Sports medicine specialists deliver high-quality care to all athletes, from high school athletes to the Cavaliers, Guardians, and Cleveland SC. Visit clevelandclinic.org/sportsmedicine. That's clevelandclinic.org/sportsmedicine to learn more.
Goes out for an Erie throw.
Unfortunately, it looked like Wright handled that one a little bit too, so.
And Cleveland SC just have to hold out for a little longer.
Really need to shut this down and take it on home and get
Also
that coveted 3-2 win.
As who's banging that drum? The Six City Syndicate, as they've been doing for many, many years, and they do a great job. They even go on the road and bang that drum. Cleveland Six City Syndicate. The game wouldn't be the same without them.
Throw that one headed out and away. Another throw for Cleveland SC, and they're going to take their sweet old time.
Yep.
To get in a position.
coming up onto the attacking side to throw this one in. Looks like he's going to try to find an option somewhere in the middle. Oh, instead finds someone forward. It looks like he was going for right, but instead get another throw in. That sideline's been getting a lot of work today. As we said, an extra defender for the teams.
Jaden Wright trying to bring it down, and yeah, using his shoulder and upper arm a little bit too much.
Yeah, unfortunately, contact like that when it's an aerial duel. Usually you're not going to get the call for that one.
It's that time of the match. I say Cleveland, you say SC. Cleveland! Cleveland! Cleveland!
And another throw in for Svetko. Both attacks really hugging this line right now.
Ball slung over top. Dealt with nicely by Prieto Diaz and Lewis Trapp. About 2 more minutes to go of regulation. Be interesting to see what stoppage time these 4 officials deem necessary.
Looks like Erie is definitely trying to get up there and get the draw right now, but hopefully they aren't able to find any space.
Good header cleared away once again by Chris Svetko.
Friday night.
Svetko's been the MVP of the second half. He's been all over the place.
Against the Michigan
Either helping
Rangers,
set up on
bring your friends,
defense to
bring
offense.
Your family, come on out. It's going to be a great time.
Crashing
The last
down on
regular
their
season
attack.
game of the season.
Yes.
Really putting in a good shift the second half.
Meanwhile, I believe that's Alex Rumliansky cramping up. And they're going to call for the trainer.
Might be time to find a sub in there, too.
I was going to say that back line's been working tirelessly. And Tapiwa Mushonga, the South African-born former Notre Dame College center back, getting ready to check in.
Already got his jersey on, heading over to the 4th official.
Just getting checked out. Hope everything's okay over there.
Hopefully it's just a little knock, and he'll be ready for Friday. And Rumliansky is up and walking off on his own power. Good.
He's all good, but certainly don't want to take any chances. And
nope. Quick turnaround for a Wednesday to Friday game, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely want to have all of your guys available and ready.
Especially against a team like Michigan Rangers, who are, neck and neck with Cleveland SC for that third place spot in the Great Lakes Conference. Of course, Akron City, rivals jumping over us with that win that they had over Cleveland SC at Green Stadium. And then, of course, Steel City still undefeated on the year in 8 games.
Cleveland SC substitution number 14, Topiwa Bashunga.
Coming on, looking to close this game.
Of play. We are now into stoppage time. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials on the field keep the official time. Also time, if you want, turn your cell phone lights on and wave them back and forth in stoppage time.
Another long throw from Lee Yaw this time.
Coming in towards the center, headed away for the time being. Swing and a miss from Jaden Wright. But he runs onto it and causes a deflection that'll push the Commodores back a great deal. And like I said, Jaden Wright's going to commit to every challenge he gets, and he might end up in the books for that one.
There's a booking coming here. Yep.
Full force, and again, going for the ball, but didn't get the ball.
You can understand Wright wanting to go in for that one, try to fully clear it after just a half clearance from the throw-in. But
certainly have to tread.
Bad luck there.
Yeah, have to tread a little more carefully in that circumstance.
Card coming up for the free kick.
Coming up, and Poling grabs it.
Right at him. Luckily on a rebound, Poling's able to pull it down.
Poling!
Chucking this one. Ball's played through. Here comes Aiden Bozak on the potential counterattack. And that's just a brilliant tackle from Gallego.
Very well timed.
Yeah, he'll go in the books with a yellow. It looked good, but he did get the ball, but he certainly caught Bozak first.
You could tell he was frustrated as soon as he got Bozak.
But, I mean, that's the smartest foul you're going to see all game.
Yellow card is issued to the Erie
Especially with the
Commodores
goalkeeper out so far. Bozak could have just chipped it up and nailed in the fourth one for Cleveland.
Yeah, not to mention you had Stanislav Koval running full sprint through the center of the park there.
Someone was smelling hat trick.
Man, I mean, he's had a lot of goals this season. I believe he tallied 5 against the Southern Indiana Guardians, and then either had 2 or 3 against Southern Indiana again. I mean, and he scored a brace on his debut against Niagara 18-12. There's a reason this guy is one of the top scorers in the NPSL. Across what I believe is 89 teams this season. He's one of the most prolific scorers you're going to get.
Smart there by Cleveland. Instead of taking a true corner, they took a short corner.
Trying to
with
keep it in
most
the
of the
corner.
defense back to kind of stop the counter from Erie. Knowing there's not a lot of time left in this game, they wanted to make sure they could snuff out any sort of counter. We've been seeing these counters and long balls all day, so very good call.
And ball will be going the other way.
Very good heads-up call by the ref there. That was right off his arm for a handball.
And the proper time to make a sub as the Brazilian center back, Lucas Oliveira, looking to check on. And I believe that's Koval stepping off. So, yeah, Cleveland SC are definitely going to try to take a more defensive approach to close this game out, rightfully so.
And keep that magical 3-2 score here.
Cleveland SC substitution number 15, Lucas Oliveira.
That was a very good shift by Koval. Very nice needed rest here at the end.
Yeah, another class performance. And you knew you were going to get class from him, coming from the MLS Next program in St. Louis City SC. Also played professionally in the second tier of Ukraine, scoring in the Ukrainian Cup. So safe to say he's got a lot of experience under his belt at just the age of 21.
card, taking another free kick for Erie. They're definitely trying to push their numbers forward to try to steal one back here.
He's going to send this one all the way up, but Cleveland SC getting the right position. It's going to backfire. And another foul and another yellow for Erie. The physicality not letting up. Certainly a bit of frustration for the newly subbed on Denis Verbinski.
Yellow card issued, number 9, Denis Verbinski.
Usually you want those guys for fresh legs, not fresh fouls.
Yeah, it's at this point.
But as we said, it's been a chippy, very physical game. Very CONCACAF.
Yeah, I was gonna say I mean, there's with the Gold Cup in North America, I don't think we could have had a more on-brand game, exciting back and forth action,
right.
A 3-2 scoreline, and a heck of a lot of bookings in what was to begin with some horrible rain.
Exactly.
I mean, this is
very slick pitch. Very glad we were able to play this one.
Yeah. He's right, going to apply some pressure, and Erie might only have a few more chances to push forward. Lee Yaw can't get to that one, and at this point, the Cleveland SC bench is just fiending for that final whistle to blow. And so are the fans. Official takes a look at his timer. Trailing all the way back, and Erie wants to make sure they don't keep it in their own half for too long, because that's just going to incline the official to blow the whistle. Cards pushing up. Met with little to no resistance. Lofts a ball in towards a penalty spot. Gets some contact on it. Murcic
right at Poling,
trying
though.
to shot.
Hey,
He's offsides anyway.
Flag was up by the AR, so. But heads up play by Poling. And that looks like.
And that's it. And a critical 3 points for Cleveland SC in a brilliant topsy-turvy matchup. Final score, Cleveland SC 3, Erie Commodores 2. Nick, I don't think we could have had a better match on our hands tonight.
And we couldn't have a better final score. Like we said, 3-2 is the magical number for Cleveland and Erie. So very happy to see what we saw today. Very physical match. Very strong play by Koval up top. A lot of good speed for today on today's offense. We'll see what they do on Friday, and hopefully they can get another 3 points.
Yeah, 100%, and we're just going to close things up now. It all started within the first 5 minutes of the match off of a corner kick won by Cleveland SC. Short ball played to Daniel Treganson at the edge of the 18, swung at a beautiful cross to the back post for Alexander Rumliansky. Before the end of the half, Erie would knock in 2 first. It was Harrison Watts with his 4th goal of the year and James Lee Yaw in the dying embers of the first half with his 2nd goal of the year. But with that, after the halftime break, Joe Jovanovski making some adjustments, and they quickly got back on level terms 38 seconds into the half, Nick. A penalty was conceded off of a handball.
And a quick, great conversion by Koval, too, on that. Because you could tell that he found a good sweet spot where the keeper, even though he knew the right side, couldn't get to the right spot.
Yeah, Koval burying the strike with confidence. Then not too long after, a penalty won for Erie. Poling makes the save. Less than a minute later, Cleveland SC marching down the pitch. A low-powered cross through the center from Jaden Wright to Stanislav Koval gives us 3-2. So, folks, Cleveland SC is going to jump to 5 wins and 3 losses on the season. And Erie will drop to 2 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. But the celebrations can't be too long for this Cleveland SC team, because in just 2 days' time, Nick, you and I are going to be back at Drive Morris Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff, as Cleveland is desperate for revenge after at Davenport University they lost a tough 5-0 contest to the Michigan Rangers.
Yep, and we'd love to see you here, Cleveland.
100% come out, support the boys. North Olmsted Stadium, it's a beautiful stadium. It's going to be a great atmosphere, hopefully no rain.
Yes.
But with that, I think that's going to about wrap us up here at Drive Morris Stadium in North Olmsted, Ohio. Cleveland SC with a crucial 3 points on the night. And from myself, Gianluca Di Giacomo, from Nick Prokop, and everybody here at the Cleveland SC family, wishing you a great night. And hopefully we'll see you on Friday. Take care.